YouTube, we're back with another video. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Khareem Oliver. I'm from the best place ever, Miami, Florida, and I'm a current college student majoring in marketing. So as you can tell by the video title, this video is going to be about 10 low barriers of entry steps on how to start your business in 2020. So if you're unfamiliar with the term, low barriers of entry, here's the Google definition. I'll let you read it for a second. But in my own words, how I like to think of it is basically, putting little to no resources into something to accomplish something. So whether that's being, starting up a business, I like to think of it as just basically putting little to no money into something, effort, time, resources, etc. So at the same time, this video is really going to be geared towards like a small business or someone who just has an idea in their head and just doesn't know where to go about it. At the same time, this can be used for like a corporation or a startup, but at the same time, I just want to focus on like small business. So that's where we're going to go about this video. So let's get into step number 1. This one is fairly easy. I mean, it's really just getting money. Worry about getting money clients first, because if you think about it, if you're trying to run a business, you can't run a business if, all you're focusing on is like the branding, the logo, just irrelevant stuff as you're starting, when you're first starting. So, worrying about getting actual business first goes a long way, just because it helps you actually keep the business up and running. So for number 1, I would say worry about getting money. And also, since you're in the process of making that money, be sure to be mindful of backdating the money that you earn, because, once you don't want Uncle Sam knocking on your door like, hey, where's my money? So all the money that you're actually making when you first start, make sure you're backdating that money so that you can go ahead and do your tax stuff and you have all of that information with you. Number 2, so figuring out a name. This one is another one that I would highly pay close attention to, just because, when figuring out your name, you want to basically make sure that you're picking a cool name, something that people can identify with, something that is likable, memorable. And at the same time, once you figure out that name and you register that name on like a domain service so that you're able to get your URL to put on your website, you want to make sure you buy variations of that name. And the reason why you want to do this is because by buying variations of your name, when people mistakenly type in your name, they can basically find you because you already purchased that name and you redirect that name to your main website. So in this case, you'll just be basically getting all that traffic that would be coming from other links, basically drives back to your website. So this is why I will go ahead and give variations of your name. The second thing is you can also register your business name and also register a fictitious business name. So this allows you to identify or do business under 2 names. So in this case, let's say you have a clothing line and it does stuff for males, but at the same time, I'm gonna do something for females. You can basically have 2 names that are for the same business that you own and you could basically use. So number 3 is setting up your tax ID number. It's called the EIN number, and you do this on the irs.gov website, I believe, and it's for free. And this way, Uncle Sam will knock on your door. So I would say get to it. So the 4th thing is actually setting up your commercial business address. This allows you to actually receive checks, equipment, or anything business related that we want to get sent to an address. It'll be sent there instead of to your house. I mean, think about it. Why would you want things to be sent to your house when you're supposed to be living there and not really doing business? You're trying to not think about your business when you're home. So in this way, I would say that would hinder all of that confusion and all the headaches of receiving stuff from there. Another thing too is that when you end up exiting your business, if you got an exit strategy in mind, you could actually sell this along with your business. So I would say this is a plus, something I would do, something I'm gonna actually get now. I'm looking into like which is the best place. Number 5, a business phone number. All right, you don't have to go ahead and go to AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile to get another phone. This is all through either Google or Skype, and these are all free tools that you can use. So for example, G Suite, well, G Suite is a paid thing, I'll get to that in a second, but basically Google Voice number allows you to actually have a second phone number on hand, and you can use it as your business phone number. Unlimited calls, unlimited texts. I believe it's unlimited for a certain amount of calls, whatever, but you can basically, use it as your business phone number. So why would you want to receive calls from this thing right here, your personal device, when you could basically receive it from somewhere else that's on an app and still on your phone, but it's not receiving to your actual phone number? So this is something I would highly suggest. The other thing I wanted to mention was G Suite. G Suite enables you to actually get, a Gmail Unlimited. If you like Google Gmail, Google Drive, if you're one of those people, this is something I would suggest as well. It allows you to get, the storage, professional email. You don't want to just say business@gmail.com, for example. You wanted to say contact at such and such business.com. So in this way, if you get Google G Suite, this allows you to get all of that in one package with the Google Voice number. And another one is called Skype VoIP, I believe it's called. And it's the same thing as Google Voice. You have unlimited calls. You're able to make those calls from a separate number that's not your personal device. It could be from a different number that's for your business. So that is something else I would highly suggest. Number 6 is setting up a business entity/structure. So essentially, I'm sure you guys seen a lot of this around LLCs, but there's not only LLCs, there's S-Corps, there's corporations, sole proprietorship. So this right here is basically enabling you to actually do business. You can do this on your local government website. For example, here in Florida in general, it's called sunbiz.org, I believe. And there we're able to actually go ahead and register and do it. It's very, very simple. Do not pay someone to do it for you. If you're paying for someone to do it for you, you're losing money, you're wasting your own money. You could do it by yourself. So I would highly suggest looking into that. It does not take long. It's super easy. So that's number 6. So number 7 is actually creating a business bank account. There's a number of free checking and free saving account banks that you can open for your business. I'm sure there's like a minimum of like $1,000 maybe you're supposed to hold in there so that you don't get charged monthly. There's all type of loopholes how you can get around that, but this also ties into, you know, how you're going to be actually collecting in the payment. So you can use things such as like PayPal. This is the number one. Almost everybody uses PayPal. Another one is Cash App. There's Zelle, even maybe for your bank, and all types of other payment processors that you can use. These are all online. You can search them up. So number 8, once you actually start making money, you're gonna need to hire an accountant. And since you're just starting, I wouldn't suggest hiring an accountant outright, like right when you start. This is something you can do by yourself. I mean, it's very time consuming, but I mean, if you're dedicated to business, these are the things it takes. You know, you gotta be dedicated. Anyway, you're gonna need to use QuickBooks. QuickBooks enables you to automatically, let's say you're taking online payments or you have a Shopify site, it'll automatically populate everything for you. There's even an accounting feature that, let's say, you know, you're doing business and you're driving to a client, for example, or you need to drive somewhere to do business, you can actually track your miles. And that's another thing that can be used as a tax write-off once, you know, go ahead and do your taxes. Another thing too is that then down the line, if it becomes too much, then you can actually go ahead and hire an accountant. I mean, if you're making enough money, it wouldn't be anything to you. What, an accountant's like $200, $500 per like service every time they do your taxes. I mean, it isn't that bad. So that's what I would suggest. Number 9, this ties into business protection. So this is another thing I wouldn't worry about too much as far as like when you're just starting, just because, you know, it isn't one of those things that is urgently needed unless you're like that type of person that has the money, or you just can't like go to sleep knowing that someone's able to take your name. That's highly not gonna happen. I highly doubt that. And this is basically getting a trademark, a patent, or a copyright. These are all 3 different things. And then there's all types of websites that do all these things for you for like a very small fee. But at the same time, always do this by yourself. I mean, there's a video online that I will link as well that shows you exactly how to file your own trademark, for example, patent, copyright, etc. So these are all stuff that, you know, you'll be able to do on your own. But if it's too much or you don't understand too much, you don't make a mistake, you can always go to these free websites, not free, but websites that charge you to do the services for you. And that's it. And again, this isn't something that I would recommend worrying about right when you start, just because it's so early, it takes money. But at the same time, have it in the back of your head for future reference. Like once you're making money, you're able to do it. I mean, think about it. No one is gonna really take your name and then do the same business you're doing. No one's gonna work as hard as you are, especially if this is something you can't go to sleep knowing that, yes, my business isn't set up or my business isn't started yet. I'm gonna start, I can't wait. You're pumped up, you have the drive, you're gonna do it. But at the same time, have it in the back of your head for later so that you remember that you do need to protect your business at the end of the day. You don't want someone stealing your name, idea, invention, none of that. So that's number 9. Number 10, and this one is called networking. This one should be very familiar, especially if you're someone who's in the business world. I mean, all of the tips that I gave earlier are very, very important, but this one is by far the most important. And the reason why is that, you know, being that we're in a time of coronavirus, everything is digital. This means there's a big push for everybody connecting online, whether it's on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, phone call, you know, everything is virtual. So that means your social account, the way you present yourself online has to be, you know, 100%, especially if you're trying to get in front of someone who, you know, you want them to help you with whatever it is, you know, you need to make sure your social accounts are at 100%. I mean, I cannot tell you the way that my LinkedIn looks, Instagram, how I was able to get linked up with someone just off the basis that it looked good, that the way I presented myself. So that's why I would say this one is by far the most important. And even if it means, you know, staying up 3 a.m., sending out emails, DMs, whatever you want to do, you got to do it. You got to put in the hard work. Think about it. If you think you're working hard, someone is always working 10 times as harder than you are. So I would greatly pay attention to this one and make sure, you know, you're networking, making sure you put on your suit and tie. If your girl wearing a skirt, you know, whatever you got to wear, but make sure you're networking. We're finally at the end of the video. Yes, it is the end. Before, you know, you go, guys, I want to know something really quickly down in the comments. Let me know if you guys enjoy, you know, the location switches, or do you guys prefer me to just keep it at my place and not really moving too much, just to like hinder, you know, the distraction maybe when I'm walking or doing something and when I'm out, or you guys actually enjoyed it. If you did, you know, I'll continue to do more stuff like this. But if you prefer me to just sit here and talk like this, I mean, I would, you know, I'll just end up doing that. I don't really care. So like I said, I did promise you guys to have a surprise. So look, right when this video is live, if you made it this far, you're getting this first. But right when this video is live, you guys are going to see my first vlog on my other channel. So, you know, if you made it this far, you're getting it here first. You're hearing it here first. So you're going to see my first vlog on my other channel. You know, I think it's pretty cool, you know. Just, you know, my friends and I are just having a good time, very candid, nothing crazy. But make sure to show love over there. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bells, all that if you aren't over there. And over here, do the same thing. And, you know, it's time for me to go. So thank you so much. See you in the next one. And remember to stay cool. Peace.